Okay, it seems that I'm live. Yep, okay. Can you hear me? Why so serious? What does. Oh, okay. You hear me? Okay. Let me see. What about which? Where is Twitch? Is that. Are we live on Twitch as well? Yep. So hopefully people can hear me on the shorts side of things as well. We'll see. The layout changed a bit. I think this is going to be better. I'm going back to my two camera setup. Hey, it's Jado. It's Jado. You're on the shorts version. Are you able to hear me? Are you able to hear me well there? I'm back at my two cameras, my keyboard and me on top. Can you hear me? Okay. So I'm audible. I guess Twitch is also able to hear me. You guys are able to see my screen, right? Yep. I think this should look better on the short side of things, but it also should look better on the normal side of things, because my camera is not going to be in the way, and I'll be able to be switching, and I'm going to be on the side, not interrupting anything there. What is here in the background? Let's restart. Yeah, bye. Let me see. Let me quit unwanted apps. I don't need this. Can you also see my keystrokes? No. Okay, let me enable that. There we go. Let's see. For people that wonder what tool I use for keystrokes is this one, Caster. Is it open source? I think it's open source. Let's see. Caster. Yep, this is the one. Yep, you guys can see that there now. Now let's see. How do you see on the short side of things? Are you able to see my screen well there for the one person on the shorts? Okay, let's see this here. Not well. Yeah, it's better than the last day at least. Because last time the screen was way smaller, but at least you'll be able to see something. The short video is really up and close. What do you mean? That the screen is all the way up? We're gonna see how it works. Now, I'm looking this way most of the time. Okay, yeah, this is good. So, what am I going to be doing today? I'm going to be going over comments that I received in the week for videos. That's what I'm going to be doing. I'm also going to be answering questions that you guys post in chat, and yeah, just chill, talk about stuff, not much. And also, um, oh, when I switch to the face cam, yeah, you mean this one? Yep. Do you get aroused? Right? I think that's what's happening. Why So Serious gets excited. Yeah, this is better. On the short side of things, I think this looks better. Yeah, I'm experimenting. We're gonna see what happens. So, comments. Let's see. Let me switch. Oh, I know. Let's see. You know what? I'm gonna do something because I don't want to be going back and forth. Just gonna close this, and we're gonna come here, and we're going to go to the Yabai configuration file. We're going to look for the YouTube application, which is this one. Yep. And I'm just going to move it back to the default space. I'm just gonna comment this. Just gonna restart Yabai. Okay, and I should have it on this screen. So I'm not going back and forth, and I had some issues with the previous one. So yeah, this is better here. Man, did you guys see the last thumbnail that I did? God damn it. Well, the clanker helped me, but it's a decent thumbnail. I don't know. I don't know what Kovid, if he ever sees that, if he's gonna get upset or not, because I didn't ask for permission. And nah, man, it's a good thumbnail, but I'm not sure he would actually approve it. I should have asked. I think he's gonna sue me or something. Where do I find comments? Languages, community. Here's where I find comments. Yep. So comments, we're not going to do just unresponded all of them. This is the first time I see your shorts. What do you mean my shorts? Oh, okay. We have Mikdad Mohammed Ali, 1504. Why don't I use the Go 60 keyboard? Because I'm not gonna buy it. And what's the name of this guy? What's the name of the Club 80 guy? Man, I don't remember his name, but he didn't send me one, right? He didn't send me a Go 60. So I'm not gonna purchase it. If he sends one, I would use it. And I would definitely compare it to this bad boy. This is the Toucan keyboard. But nah, I'm not gonna buy it for my own money. I already spent way too much money on this, and I also spent a lot of money on the Club 80 keyboard. So yep, I would review it, but I wouldn't purchase it for my own money. I already purchased another one actually. Oh, when I have to reply to them, because let's see, where's Discord? Can I show Discord? Hold on, let's see. There. Okay, I ordered this one. This is the corn mint prototype. Oh, what happened? Uh, I have to reply to an email because they're asking what type of keycaps do I want? Do I want transparent keycaps or do I want um like just black keycaps, or what type of keycaps do I want to have? Now, the news that I received on this thread are not so exciting because it seems that the switches that are going to be sent with this keyboard are not as soft as I originally thought they would be. Let me show you the keyboard for the people that don't know what I'm talking about. Let's see. Is this Corn Mint prototype? Oh, they have a new. Also, the website is active again. Oh, so it's in stock now because the orders were closed because it's like a beta or something. I already placed my order like months ago, but I haven't received it. Uh, Look at this bad boy. How should I get it? Let me know in chat. This is one. If you vote, just type number one in chat for this, or two in chat for this. Like black keycaps. Should I get them transparent? One, or should I get them like this? Black keycaps. Two. But it's a flat keyboard. It's even flatter than this one. So I don't know how it's gonna be. I like that the pinky is not too weighed down. Okay. The pinky and the toucan. Let me switch to the other one so you can see it closer. So here, take a look at it. Well, the people in shorts won't be able to see it that well. There. Look at the pinky. Are you able to see the pinky there? Let me bring it closer. Look at the pinky, it's way too down. And I don't like that too much. If you see on my keyboard camera, you're gonna notice that I have to like angle it to be able to reach the pinky because my pinky is not too small, right? Usually I keep it like this, flat, but it's impossible to type that way. So I have to angle it like this so that I'm able to type and reach the pinky because it's way too down for my fingers. Okay, now this other one doesn't seem to have the pinky that way. So I'm not sure if it's gonna be better or not. But the bad news that I got is that the keycaps or the switches themselves are not soft. Okay, because these are really soft. The softest ones that I was able to get. These are gonna be like 60 gram force, I think, is the last update that they sent in Discord. And here it is. I didn't reply to them. I have to reply. Where's the other update? Doesn't matter. But we'll see. Now, what did chat say? One, just Philip voted. What was one? Was one transparent? Now I don't remember. Transparent ones, yep, okay. In the toucan, this is what I have in the toucan. They have they're labeled, right? So they have the labels. And the switches you mean that I have in the toucan. Let's see. I don't know about switches, man. I have no idea. No, not this one. It's where do I have information about the switches? Switches. I think I added it. Could I have added it here? No, right? Did I do it here? Oh, did I release another video? man. I don't remember what the switches were, but I have it. Where can I find that? Nocturnal, I think it was. Yep, yep. Let's see. I got 2 sets of switches. Yep, got 2 sets. Ambient. I think it was ambient. These are the ones that I have right now. They're pretty soft. They're softer than the other ones. These are 20-gram fours. They're awesome. Yep, I love these. The other set that I got, let's see, Ambient Twilight. This is the other set that I got. But I switched them, all of them. I switched them to the Nocturnal. These are a little bit stronger, okay, but they are still really soft. These are, where can I see that? 35-gram fours. And it seems that the ones that are going to be sent here are like 60-gram fours. That's bad news for me. Uh, that's gonna be really disappointing. But maybe they're soft. We'll see what happens. The nocturnal ones, yep. Do I think the Toucan keyboard is better than the Club 80? Let me try to type on the Club 80 because I haven't used it in a long time. Hold on. I already forgot completely how to type on it. Let's see. Let's see. Let me move this one here. Let's put this one here. And I like the Toucan better. Honestly, I like the Toucan better. Why? Because concavity seems like a great idea in paper, and it makes sense. And it's like, yeah, these guys discovered, you know, something, you know, yeah, they cracked it. They did it. And I was convinced that concavity was actually a good thing because I paid like a lot of money for that keyboard and I had to believe in it, right? But my fingers have to travel too much on the Glove 80. The concavity feels good. No, 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 no. Flat keyboard is for me. Flat keyboard is good. I don't need the concavity. My fingers have to stretch too much on the Glove 80. Everything is closer here on this Toucan, right? Everything is. I don't have to stretch them too much. Even my thumbs. Look, my thumb just goes out a little bit, as you're able to see on the camera there, and then when I need to bring it back in, is good there. So um, personally, I prefer the Toucan. Okay, it has its limitations as well, and I have to create a video where I compare the Glove 80 and the Toucan, but I haven't done it yet. I will eventually, you know, but the ultra low profile switches are 60-gram. They will not be as soft since they're okay. Hopefully they're soft. Okay. All I want for the ultra low profile keyboard is for the switches to be like my Apple keyboard. That's it. If they're as soft as my Apple keyboard, I'm happy. Okay. I'm gonna move this to the other side, and I have here. What is my opinion on the MacBook keyboard? Oh, that's my favorite keyboard. Not the built-in, but the magic one. This, are you guys able to see it there? That's my favorite because of the switches. They're really soft. But the problem is that your hands hurt, right? I love the laptop keyboard as well. I have an M4 computer right now, and I love the feel of the switches. But after using that computer for like an hour or two, my hands being in this position, can you see it on the screen there? Like all like this starts to hurt. Not hurt, I'm not like a little bitch that is gonna be complaining and crying about everything, but after a few hours it hurts and I'm like, no, doesn't feel comfortable. Even though it's wonderful, it feels great. No, I cannot. So this solved a lot of issues for me. Having them separate and in a natural position. Look, they're resting there. They're not forced. They're great. So I cannot go back to a normal keyboard now. You prefer the Advantage 360. I don't have an Advantage 360, so I cannot comment on that, but I don't see it being too different from the Glove 80, right? So I guess that your fingers have to travel more to reach the keys, and I don't know. I would have to try it to let you know, but just the size of that thing, man. I'm talking about the keyboard, of course. That turns me off. It's too big for me. That's what she said. So, um, nope. You cannot take it anywhere, and if you take it anywhere, you have to take it in its own backpack because it's too big. Nope. Just just that alone is that for me. The Apple Switches have 55 to 70. Okay, that's good. Yeah, so man, when I saw videos on YouTube, people buying a keyboard and then buying another one, I was like, God damn it, motherfucker, just buy one and stick to it. I was like, just stick to the damn keyboard. Now I understand that it's difficult to find the perfect keyboard. And I have purchased just two keyboards, the Glove 80 and this Toucan, right? But small things, they fuck it up somehow. The pinky on this one is too low. If it would be higher, could be perfect, maybe. Or maybe the pinky there is perfect. And when I try the corn min, I will be like, no, I hate the pinky being there. I don't know. I don't know. It's tough. Once you move out from a traditional keyboard and you start exploring other keyboards, you get picky. I think that's what happens. You like to build them, not to buy them. Yeah. I don't have the skills to build them, and I don't have the time to build them, the patience, and I also don't have the um, will to do it. I don't want to do it. Can you try to pronounce my name? It's impossible, man. I don't want to say it because maybe it's some. Is it a hidden message? Let's see. I don't know what that is, man. HDHDFF DHH? Nah, I don't know what. Oh, you just spammed random letters. Okay. So what was I gonna do? Oh, answer questions. That's what we're gonna do. Answer questions. Gen 2, I don't use Gen 2. I don't know who uses Gen 2. Furries, I don't know anything about it. In the shorts side of the house, are you able to read this or is it too small? Let's make it bigger. That's what she said. I think this is better, right? Yeah, this is better. Yeah, you should be able to read it there. System D, okay, there's a discussion between System D and other init systems. So 50-50 there. This is an interesting question. Do you know if Kitty currently has OSCP 52 copy and paste support, for example, yank to current system clipboard with the Neovim and SSH session? This is a selling feature for Ghosty for me after using Kitty for some years. Does someone know OSCP 52? I remember my OSCP 52 days when I used to SSH to a lot of different servers, but I have it somewhere in here. Let's see, OSCP 52, because I had to spend a lot of time trying to figure that out in the past. When you SSH into a server, you open Neovim and you want to copy something from Neovim to your machine clipboard, right? To my Mac clipboard from that SSH machine. That's what OSCP or OSC52. How is it written? Let's see. OSCE? Oh no, it's just OSC52. Yep. Yeah, I had to use a plugin, but then that plugin was discontinued or something, and I don't know. I didn't keep track of that. And I used Tmux in the past, but I guess now that I'm not using Tmux, this should be way simpler to solve, okay? So if anyone knows the answer to this question, that actually, well, because let's see what happens, okay? Let's see what happens. I'm gonna SSH into a server, okay? I think I have Neovim installed here, okay? And let's see what happens if I copy to the clipboard. It's not gonna copy it for sure. Let's see, do I have Neovim installed here? I think I can open it here. I don't have it. Maybe Nvim? Oh, I have it. Okay. Oh man, but it's going to update it right now. And I don't specifically want that. Doesn't matter. Let's see. Wow, the colors look weird. Okay, let's quit. Okay, let's open it again. Why didn't it open it? Oh, okay. It's an old version of Neovim. I would have to update it. Nah, we're not doing that. But I haven't opened it. If someone knows the answer to that question, just respond to that person, because I also have that question, but I will figure it out until I actually SSH into servers. But I'm not, I don't know. I don't know if I will continue to use Neovim inside servers or just Vim without plugins. I don't know yet. The window decorations are hitting per default on Linux, at least on Wayland based window managers on Hyperland. Okay, because on macOS, I set Kitty to show this way, the way that you're able to see here. No borders and no bar at the top, right? So that's what that person was saying there. Love Kitty, using it for many years. Just right foot. Does anyone in the chat use foot? Why do you guys use foot? Like, what's the purpose of using foot? Is it like a very low resource computer? Is that when you guys use it? I'm thinking of recreating my Tmux config in Kitty, but I don't see the benefit for me except viewing images in terminal, since that currently doesn't work in Tmux. It does work in Tmux. I did watch, or I did view images in Kitty, also in Ghosty, when using Tmux in Neovim. Um, and I have some videos about it actually. Let me show that to you. I had a video specific to that. This one, fix Western and Kitty image issues in Neovim. But this is back when I was using Tmux. So it's possible, but I don't know. Oh, and Yasi. Okay, I see. Yeah, I didn't use Yasi anymore. I used it for a little while and I never opened it again. After the last video that I recorded about it, I never opened Yasi again. Using Kitty, if you SSH into a server and you create a new split tab, do you have to SSH into it again? Yep. So let's say that I'm here, right? And I SSH back into storage 3. The new tab that I open is going to open in my home directory outside, and I have to SSH into it again. But that's what I would want it to do, right? That's the behavior that I wanted to follow actually. When did I learn to touch type? Oh, I learned to touch type when I was a kid. I don't know, I was like maybe, let's see, 8, like 12 years old, I think, something like that. Well, that's when I started learning to touch type, because I had to go to classes back in the day with typewriter machines. Did you guys still use that? This is where I learned to touch type. One of these. And they used to put a paper on top so you couldn't see the keys, right? And these motherfuckers were like 300, yeah, 300 gram fours, not like 20 gram fours like the little bitches that we're right now. These motherfuckers were hard, man. You had to press them to be able to type on them. But yeah, I learned a long time ago. You're using Yasi as a file manager inside Neovim since you don't want any plugins for that. Is there a Yasi plugin in Neovim? Yeah, because I'm using mini.files. Mini.files is my file explorer, so I don't know if I should switch to something else. Bye, it's Jaru. Talk to you later. What is the clipboard manager that I use? Let me see if I can show my clipboard first, okay? Because I don't know. Sometimes I have stuff there that I shouldn't be showing. So I'm just gonna clean it up before I show any sort of shit there, okay? Clean up this bad boy here. Yep, 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 yep. Okay, so what I'm using is this application called Paste in macOS. It's not a free application, it's a paid application, and I know that most of the people that follow me are open source lovers and they just want everything for free. But yeah, this is a paid one. What is it? Paste. This is the one. I don't pay, well, I pay for a subscription, which is like a Netflix of apps that exists in macOS. People are gonna have a heart attack, but there's a thing called Setup in macOS, and it's part of Setup. So that's how I install it through Setup. chapter. Okay, this is the best comment in the video. And I didn't realize that I incorrectly added the chapters like this, right? Until this person mentioned it. Because, yeah, if you go and watch this video, this is the terminal engineer video, you're gonna see that the chapters are out of order, in this order, man. Is there any Russians in the house or any Serbians? Philip, you're Serbian. What layout do you use on your keyboard? Because this guy's asking, when he tries to do Command C on a Mac, he gets an error. And with other terminals, he does not have it. Well, it has to be Russian and it has to be a key user. But if someone knows the answer to this, let me know. I use the English layout. Who was the other guy that told me that uses the English layout? Marco, the creator of what's his plugin? The Postman alternative? Ulala, that Neovim. Yeah. He is from, where is he from? He's German. He uses the English layout as well to avoid issues, I think. Yeah, me too. And my main language is actually Spanish, right? But I use the English layout for everything, even for stuff that I write in Spanish. I don't switch to Spanish, but I have this key. If I leave, because we use this in Spanish a lot, right? The tilde, that's how we call it, right? Or accent, or however you guys want to call it. But if I type a word in Spanish like this, I have to type that symbol that you see on the letter O right there. Or if we type the other letter, there's another letter that does not exist in English, is this one, ñ, right? I also have another key for that. So if I leave the letter N pressed for 200 milliseconds, that shows up. But I don't switch my layout to Spanish. I just type those words like that on the English layout, and I just got used to it already. It's just more effective, at least for me. Let's see, if you want to do SSH, I think that is, else in a new split in SSH, would you SSH into it again? You want to do SSH else? What do you mean? If you want to do SDH else in a new split in SSH, you would, I don't get it. If you want to do, oh, something else in a new split in SSH. Oh, I see. Okay, so a split. Let's see. Let's see. So if I'm here, let's say that I SSH into the server and I open a split. How do you open splits in Kitty? I never use splits and I don't remember. Is it command enter? Yeah, command enter. Yeah. So this opens the split and USSH again. Correct. Yep. SSH storage 3. So this is split. This is tab. Yep. I don't use splits, right? I rather use, if I have to choose between a tab and a split, I always decide to go with a tab. Nowadays, I had a pretty cool idea in Tmux back in the day. So it was this video, it was pretty useful actually. Let's see, let me show you guys. To open a split menu from Neovim and Tmux, and it was quite, oh, maybe if I go to my channel, I can find it easier. So if you're into splits a lot, this is gonna be a little bit useful, I think. Let me hide that on the side. This toggle Tmux pane, the bottom or right? So when I was in Neovim and I pressed a key, it used to open a split at the bottom or on the right using Tmux and the skhd mode CLI tool. I don't use Tmux anymore, and I'm trying to move away from splits at all. I just use them in like specific scenarios, but I don't use them too much. I'd rather open a tab, SSH into the server here on this tab, and just be switching between the two tabs, right? That's, I don't know. I find that way easier because I can see the whole thing, right? I don't have just a small screen there at the bottom or on the side. And have you upgraded to the new update yet? What update? Mac OS, Debian, Neovim. You listened to Bad Bunny a lot recently. I can learn some Spanish. I don't like that music, man. I'm sorry. Open the Kitty scroll back and Neovim with highlights. It is possible, but only on Neovim 0.12. Or there's different options, right? So let me search the scroll back section here, okay? Where's my Kitty file? Scroll back. Okay, go to the section in my .files, Kitty scroll back, .nvim config. I was using this plugin, but I'm not using that plugin anymore. If you want to have colors when you open your scroll back, this is an option right now using this plugin, but no, not needed to install. I even created a video about this if you want to understand how it works. And it's decent, you know. No, this is with, well, let me go back here, scroll back. Here, this is with the plugin, and I released this after without the plugin, right? So if you want to have colors, you can try that. The other option is if you're using Neovim 0.12. According to Justin, this should work. These two options didn't work for me because I'm using Neovim 0.11 still. I'm waiting on 0.12. But Justin Keys, the lead maintainer, told me that this should work with Neovim 0.12. And yep. But since I'm on 0.11 right now, this is what I'm using, right? Do you just launch this screen, scroll back, you set it to this type overlay so that it shows on front of the screen. I think that's what that is. And you call Neovim. So here's Neovim. I pass some options here. And this is how it looks. If I come back here and I bring it up, in my case, I do it with the letter M as in Mary. And it brings it up quite quick, right? So it doesn't have colors, and that's the only problem. But I don't care too much, to be honest. You know, I can navigate here. I can use my plugins and all that. And I configured it so that when I press Y, it automatically quits, right? So for example, if I want to grab this block right here, you select it. And no, let's say that I want to select this. I'm going to type Y, going to copy it to the clipboard and quit. You can see that there on my clipboard. But that's the only thing that it doesn't have colors. I don't care too much, to be honest. Did I try to open Tmux scroll back in Neovim? You mean the Tmux copy mode? Oh, no. When I was using Tmux, I always used Tmux copy mode. That's it. That's all I used. Yeah, that's all I did back in Tmux copy mode. But this is way more powerful, right? Because you pretty much have your Neovim configuration there, right? If I type Q, it quits. Notice how fast it opens, right? I don't have to wait like a couple seconds, right? Just like less than a second, I would say, and I'm there, right? So it's good. This is decent. This works quite well. Take any negative comment from a furry as positive. Yep. Now, this is an interesting comment as well. The only reason I had to move away from Neovim practically most terminal usages was the pain of working with a huge Java project in Neovim. I wish every day that I can get that back. Anyone here works with Java? Huge Java projects that has issues? I don't have experience with that at all, but I like to know. So he says that it's mostly the compilation. The huge buffer was not a problem. So I thought it was like the file picker issue or something, but no. So it seems that he's on IntelliJ right now. Yep, IntelliJ. So it seems, I don't know. I cannot confirm, deny, or say anything about this because I don't have the experience, but it seems that IntelliJ is really popular amongst the Java community. I'm not sure if there's like serious Neovim users that dedicate to Java fully and just commit to it in Neovim. Is that even possible? Does it work? Why is my channel called linkarzu? Because I needed something that was not out there on the internet, right? If you go to Google and look for that, what do you think you're gonna find? What do you think? Just me, baby. So all of this is me, including this Instagram account, my blog post, result number one. This Reddit, this is me. All of these videos are me. This is me. This is me. What is this? Page two. It's me as well. Go to page two. Even this posted by Elijah is the creator of the Harper language server, LinkedIn, Spotify, even my podcast shows up there. Even this thing that I did for VS Code, So this is why Amazon Music, even TikTok. Have you tried searching for someone that has like a common name? There's a friend of mine that has a YouTube channel. Let me try to find them. Roman, let's- just take a look at this. Roman V. I'm gonna search for Roman V. What the actual fuck, man? It's nope. It's unsearchable. So when I need to find this channel, I have to go to my subscriptions and try to look for it there. Because I don't know the name of this channel. Roman Codes, I think his name is Roman Codes. No, but there's this other one. Nope. Maybe Roman V Codes. Or maybe if we type Roman V Neural, this is the channel that I was talking about. But you see how hard it was to find that channel? It's pretty much unsearchable. But on the other hand, if you type this here, everything is gonna be about me, baby. You're just gonna get me there, front page, right? So that's why I don't know how I came up to the name. I used to play Smash Brothers when I was younger. That was my favorite game. I think to this date is one of my favorite games, and I used Link a lot, so that's why. And I just wanted to have my last name there somewhere. My wife hates the name. It's like it doesn't make sense, but I didn't care. I did it with that other purpose in mind, so that I'm searchable. How do you use the quick access terminal with Kitty with custom scripts? I guess that is the replacement for Tmux display pop-up. Yep, man, that is a really powerful tool. The way that I've been using it is, for example, um, I have a key map in Canada. Let me go here. Let me exit out of the server and just clear this. So I call it from Canada. If I type, what key is this? Above S, what do we have above W? W, just leaving W pressed and I type the letter T, this pop-up is gonna show up, right? Which is an FCF menu. And here I have my different scripts. So let's say that I want to switch my audio device, right? I'm not gonna do it right now because I won't be able to listen to me anymore. Or let's see what else. Yeah, audio selector, right? And I choose my audio device, I can do it from there. Or my color scheme selector is another pop-up as well. So how do you define that? Or you can do other stuff like there's this other one. Let's see, where is it? Let me quit out of here. If I do WJ, this is another pop-up that shows up there at the top. You see it? You may not see it, but do you see in the background is the Kitty, the normal Kitty window. Okay, let me go to my browser. Okay, if I'm here in my browser and I do that, no, it's this. You see that there in the background? That like pop-up is also the same quick access terminal, but it's like a different layout because you can specify like the size of the pop-up window and all that stuff. And what else? Yeah, I think that's it. But you configure that here. If you go to my Kitty config file and you search for quick here, floating window. I even left it like that because there's people that know it as quick access terminal. There's people that know it as floating window. Most of us know it as floating window. There's some notes here that you should read as well in case that you have questions. Let's see. Okay, in case that you want to create a shortcut, like a macOS shortcut to call it, but I don't do it that way. I call it directly from Canada, or if I'm using my keyboard, this one, I call it directly from CMK, right? So I'm not using that shortcut, but if you're like a normie, you can do it that way in preferences. And here are the different options. What changes is this, look, type background. This one is, let's see, system task. Okay, type background, system task. Let's see, type background. Let me see which other one. Color scheme selector is also the same type background. Let's see, all of them are type background. My daily note, let's see. Oh, because I had my daily note configured with a quick access, like a pop-up window, but I realized that it's just a waste of time. Why? Because I used to go to my daily notes, right? And the window would pop up. And then I used to type something, but then I had to press the key again to hide it. And then after hiding it, I would go back to the other place. There was a step in between that didn't make sense at all, right? So now I just go directly to my daily notes and then I go back. It's faster, right? But you can do it as a pop-up as well. But yeah, I tried this for a few days and I just didn't like it at all. Nope. The daily note like this? Nope. I think this one is the default one. So if I type W and J is the one that shows at the top. I rarely use this one. I rarely do it, right? But let's say that I SSH to a server, just to give you an example, right? Storage 3. Can I SSH to that? And let's stay there. I'm SSH'd into that server. And I'm doing my thing here. And I'm just navigating my different, repos. And I'm going here to my notes and all that stuff. Where's my markdown file? Oh no, this is my blog post, okay? This is my blog post. And then I want to bring up that server again on the quick access terminal at the top. I just type this. Notice that I'm right there, right? I don't use it. I don't use that one, to be honest. But it's an option for people that find it useful. But what I do use a lot are these. When I need to execute scripts, all of these are things that you need to execute once and you don't see them again until you need to execute them, the next time. So if I need to set up OBS or if I need to generate links for one of the calls that I have with the guests and all that, that's what I use those for. Hey, 01, what's up? How do you manage Kanata? I try to make it work, but whenever I start typing, I have issues with keys overlapping. Oh man, Kanata is not like a simple tool. What are you using? Are you using Mac or are you on Linux? Alexandru Fasoleak 627. What are you on? What do I think about Emacs users? I respect them. How about respect for them? Prat, have you seen or have you heard about Prat? The Emacs chat. I've interviewed some people that use Emacs. DT uses Emacs. Prat, man, Prat. This is a wonderful video, man. It's an amazing video. Prat is just amazing. Yep. Joshua Blaze uses Emacs as well. I have had a few calls with Joshua as well. And Dina, man, Dina is a writer, professional writer. He used to be a huge Neovim user. He switched over to Emacs, and now he's not looking back. He's on Emacs now. So based people use Emacs. I have a lot of respect for them. Now, what is Neovim? It's just I'm a beaner. I eat beans pretty much every day, so that's what it is. That's the name of my Neovim configuration. And there's a coworker, an ex-coworker friend of mine that calls me a greasy beaner because he says that my skin looks greasy, and that's it. It's just the name of my config. Now, regarding Kanata, man, you need to make sure that there's nothing else intercepting your keyboard because it's just gonna be a shit show there, right? Because if you're in Mac, probably you install Carabiner elements as well, right? And you install Kanata, so they're gonna conflict, right? Because both of them are gonna try to grab your keyboard, and shit is just gonna hit the fan pretty quick. And nope, it's gonna be a pain in the ass. So to install Kanata on macOS, I recommend all the time to install Carabiner install Carabiner fully. Don't go to the documentation. There's some steps there. No, that's shit. Doesn't work. Probably it works, but it's very convoluted. So just install Carabiner, make sure that it works, right? That's going to leave the Carabiner agent running in the background. Just keep it running there. Then what you do is you quit Carabiner. It is not going to reopen when you turn your Mac on. You just quit Carabiner and it's never going to open again unless you open it. You specifically open it, right? So once you quit Carabiner, you install Kanata, and good luck trying to make it start when your computer starts. I have that configuration in my dot files. It's not that friendly. I think I have a video. Hold on. This video was members only, but I'm going to make it public. Okay, hold on. Where is it? Can I search here? Okay, This is members only. This Canada config. This one, I had it set to members only. Let me make it public. I'm gonna hit publish here. Go and watch this. That is going to explain a lot of stuff because I went over the config with 2 other guys in this video, so that's gonna help you, I think. Yep, that's gonna help you a lot, or at least guide you in the right direction. But keep in mind that I use Mac. You're probably if you're a Linux furry, just go and ask the other furries. Yep, I already read all of these. Okay, so let's go back. What did Why So Serious say? How do you use the custom scripts? Yep, yep. And how do I call it? Okay, now something that you need to keep in mind about the quick access terminal, Philip, is that you will call Kitty from outside, right? Because you will call it from other applications. In my case, I do it from skhd, right? So for my keyboard, the Toucan keyboard, I need to call Kitty from an application outside of it. So if I open this skhd file and I look for the quick access terminal here, to give you an example, I think these are the ones. No, these are the ones for sessions. Yep, this quick access terminal. Yep. This is the one. So notice that I have this. Let's see. Oh, no, okay, this is for my volume. Quick access terminal. Where's the other one? Hold on. This OBS scenes. Oh, this is OBS stuff. I think this is the default one. Let's see. So, yep. Yep. But look at this one. GD. Yep, this is the one. So what you see here right now, this script is called by this other one. But notice how I do it from here. You need to use the Unix sockets. So you need to configure that or enable that in Kitty, because otherwise you will not be able to interact with Kitty from outside, right? So you will have to take a look at this script if you're gonna call it from skhd or something. So this is in my skhd file, okay? Is this line right here. Skhd quick access terminal task. Okay, so this is for this that you see here. So I call it from skhd, and skhd calls, let's see, where was I? Here. Hold on. Where is it jumping to? What? Oh, it's go to file. Yep. So that calls this, and this is what calls Kitty. Okay. So notice that I'm calling the Kitty application and I'm using the Unix socket there, and I'm calling the quick access terminal. But for that to work, remember that in your Kitty configuration file, you need to have this remote control has to be set to yes. And you also need to have this option enabled, the Unix socket here. I don't have the entire Kitty configuration. I don't have all the defaults in this file because otherwise it would be huge, right? So I just use the defaults, but I have the all of the default configuration on this other file. Just in case that you want to see the rest of the Kitty options, you can go to this kittydefault.conf file, also in my .files. But this one has all of the options, right? This one is 2,700 lines. It's pretty well documented by Kovid, man. It's really great documented. So I just use all of these except for the stuff that I want to modify. I copy it from here and I bring it over to my kitty config file and I modify it here, right? So these are the things that I have modified. Oh, and I've been playing around with this copy and select. Man, amazing. It's good. Calling your kitty can be a challenge. Exactly. Yep. Especially if you need to interact with kitty from outside kitty, because you always are in kitty, right? That's the thing, that you're in kitty and you want to do something with another application outside of kitty. That's fine. There's no problem with that. That works as usual. The problem is that from other applications, you want to reach kitty, right? So you need to open that access so other applications can interact and talk to Kitty. Like Sketchy Bar, this bar that I have here, I had it configured at past so that it showed me the session, the Kitty session, right? So it needs to communicate from outside to Kitty, but Kitty allows you to do that, man. Kitty is extremely flexible, man. Yeah, there's not something that I've thought about that I cannot do in Kitty. Um, yeah, there's stuff that I still need to implement back from my Tmux days that I haven't implemented. Like I had a script in Tmux that showed me, or that used to parse my SSH config file, showed me all of the different SSH devices, and I could pick one and just jump to it, right? Something similar to this, to the FCF menu that I have right now for the sessions. But it's not difficult to implement in Kitty, right? Using an FCF menu would be pretty simple, actually. Hey, Mac Radio Intercepts. Long time no see, man. You're on the short side of the house today, right? This is the shorts. This is the shorts, and this is the long form. I'm talking about the video format, of course. Where was I? Comments. Let's see if we have any other questions here. Uh, Perfect song choice. It's time for an updated review. Yep. I am going to do the Toucan versus Glove 80 keyboard, and then in that video I'm gonna share my thoughts in both of the keyboards, the Glove 80 and the Toucans, and talk about which one I like better, why. But I'm also going to talk about the things that I don't like about each one of them. So Terminal Emulator Engineer based. macOS and GigaChat, those two words don't go together. They do, bro. Anyone knows how to hide files by extension when browsing? I want to hide files ending on .uid, and he's talking about the mini.files plugin. I haven't done that, I think, but I do something similar, at least on the snacks picker, right? So if I open my snacks picker file, And if I search for glob, is in this specific picker, I only want to show markdown files. I don't want to see any other type of files. So I guess there must be something similar, but I'm not exactly sure because I haven't done it. When I do it in the future, I'll know and I'll update my dot files, but I haven't had the need. If someone knows in the comments, let us know as well. Linux Mint on a Marchi. Yeah. Mint as daily drive for his wife and when drinking. Why when drinking? Omarchi to experiment with Arch. Vanilla Arch, but I was frustrated. Yeah, I felt the exact same way when I installed Arch. Couldn't even get the printer to work. Omarchi installed and everything was reconfigured to work. I will try Endeavor, but I'm kind of feeling Hyperland. Yeah, I tried Arch, I installed it, and I didn't know what options to choose, so I didn't like it too much. CachyOS is something that a lot of people recommend. This is what DT is using right now. The other option that Tony came up with, what is it called? Tonarchy. That seems like a good option as well. It includes his window manager. So Utux is the Linux luchador. Very lucha libre with that mask. Yeah, man. He told me that he wanted to have an interview with Andrea Borman. You guys know Andrea Borman, the queen, the goat? And she said no. She said nope. I'm not doing it because he's wearing a mask and it's weird. And I was like, you can do all that in Linux. Audio will work. Just make sure to configure it. Yeah. How do you do the kitty cursor trail? Also, what's your theme? I think I dig it more than mine. The kitty cursor trail, everyone here has configured it already, right? So if I go to my kitty configuration file and I look for it here under trail, this is the one. Set this to 1. You set the DK here. You can read the information here. I always leave comments because I will not forget what all of this is. So I need to read them to re-understand this a couple months after. Also set this option and that's it. I think it's those 3 options only. This is if you want to make it transparent, right? Because you see this Gigalord terminal that looks transparent. This is only for Gigalords. Also, if you want to set the blur, if you want it to look more transparent or more blurred, you can set that here. Those 2 options, right? The blur and the opacity. But that is the terminal itself, the background, right? For the cursor, we only set this, this, and this, I think. And yep, theme thickness, underline. Yep, just those 3 options for the cursor, and that's pretty much it. Hi, Timid49. What makes those cursor animations? Exactly what I mentioned right now. You see this configurations that I showed, which would be the cursor trail, this start threshold, and the trail decay. Those are the ones. Just add them in your kitty config file and you're good. Now, do you need to add this as well? I'm not sure if you need to add this as well, but take a look at this node, the Neovim cursor type, and start from there. I'm not sure if you need to add this and these as well. I don't think so, but here's where it starts, cursor trail, all the way down here. this. But it's pretty useful because when you open a file explorer, for example, you can see the cursor jumping around, right? So it helps you seeing where your cursor is. Or if you open like a split, right, you can jump and you can see how the cursor jumps around, right? Looks cool. But besides looking cool, it's useful. Okay, cursor again. Okay, this person had issues with the fonts in Kitty, and I did have those issues as well. I told him to add mono at the end because he went and searched in my config, because I remember having this issue, and actually I stopped using Kitty because of this, because the font was not working and I couldn't get it to work. It didn't matter what I tried. So until I added mono here at the end, it started working. And but it didn't work for that person here in the comments. And I think it has to do with the path, maybe, or where the font was installed or something. I'm not exactly sure, you know. But this is what worked for me. I tried all the other variations and it never worked. But if you look at my font closely, you're gonna notice that it looks decent. You know, it looks normal. There's nothing weird on it. So yeah. But it's, could it be the term? No, this is the default term in Kitty, Xterm Kitty. Uh, Look at what Kovid typed there. Changing this can break many terminal programs. Only change it if you know what you're doing, not because you read some advice on Stack Overflow to change it. God damn. The Gigalord. Did he type that there? Let's see. Or did I type it? Oh, he typed it. Yeah. He typed it in the default config, but he's right. What's the new Mac window manager that you mentioned? Rift. It's called Rift. You guys remember that I sent a message to the Rift guy? He didn't even reply, so what's going on with him? Is the project going to be abandoned soon? When was the last update? 2 months ago. Because we sent them a message. Did we send a discussion? Did we send an issue or a discussion? Interview. Yep. So he ghosted us. Is he going to continue with Rift? Or because of the drama between Rift and the other window manager, Glide, he decided, fuck this. Fuck the open source community. I'm just dropping this and I'm not going to do open source anymore. Or maybe he's just busy. I don't know what's happening. Not to girls, probably. What is this guy talking about? Oh, I would have to watch it to see what he's talking about. I got the AJAS AK029HE and I wanted to have the other half. Okay, so I searched for this and it's like just half of a keyboard. Why would you want that? Can someone in chat explain to me why you would just want half of a keyboard? For gaming? Oh, okay. Oh, okay, 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 okay. I guess normies don't know about split keyboards, right? Because they could do the same thing and just use the other half when you need to use it like a regular keyboard. Is that what this is? I don't understand why you would get that, but is there a reason? Does someone know? Kitty on a client's Mac. Now they keep bringing it up, and I mentioned that I installed Kitty and Laugh. Yep. People make fun of me because I use Kitty because of the name of the terminal. They're like, they don't take it seriously. That the name, like the name and the logo, make kitties look childish, not like a serious terminal, but it's the exact opposite. The hyperland. Oh, it's Jado was there in chat. He already left. That was a great hook. Oh, did that set up debate? Okay. There's some drama. No, not drama, but discussion between Echestovsky and Gregory Anders between using that setup when you're using plugins or not using it. Echestovsky is in favor of it. Gregory is not. So we talk about that in this video. Go and check it out. CNX was cancelled. Windows was a separate project. Dave Collar was brought into the digital equipment where he made RX11 and VN. Okay, yeah. Of course, that it's a different project. Otherwise, Windows would be called CNX 2 or something. But the point that I was trying to make last week is that if MS-DOS was never, brought into the picture, Windows or whatever project Microsoft decided to go with would still be Unix based. And I don't know, probably would make all of our lives easier. I'm not sure. What is this video about? I don't know the title of this video. Does it show me the titles of the videos if I make it smaller? Oh, there it does. Again, CNX, VS Code. Oh, search and replace. Okay. If you ever watch this at calls, I'm gonna show you how I do search and replace. I don't do regex and I don't do like the vim commands and all that stuff because I never remember it. Like the global or the sed. No, I just use a plugin. Multi-cursor, I don't do, but search and replace I do, and I do quite a lot. I even have a lot of videos about it, right? But how can we test that? Let's see. What's up, Oxenfree? You missed everything, my boy. Oh, you think the trail looks cool, but it's a bit invasive. Yeah. I got used to it, and when I don't have it, I sometimes have to be looking for my cursor. But ever since I enabled cursor trails, my cursor never gets lost. It's always, you can easily spot it, quite fast. I got used to it. You can tweak the parameters, right? So it's not that invasive. You can make it a little bit less, tweak it to your liking. That's the good thing. If you want a shorter and faster trail, you just configure it. It's picking the right font when you configure it. Just looks wrong. Oh, okay, so you're the font guy. Oh yeah, I see your pick. I see your pick. Yeah, man, it's weird. It's weird. I don't know why it looks different. Let me show you. I'm gonna compare both fonts. Okay, so this is Kitty, and I'm going to bring up Ghosty. Okay, it's gonna open on the other screen, right? Let's see. Where's Ghosty? Yep, it opened on the other screen. Let me bring it to this other screen, okay? I did this on the last live stream as well. Let me restart Yabai. And now Ghosty should bring over to the other screen. Okay. Oh, you know what? Let me move it somewhere else. Let me move it here to an empty space. Okay, so there we have Ghosty. Let me open the dot files. Let me open the same file in both of them. Okay, so this is this file. We're gonna open the same file. Okay, so this is the Yabai RC file. So this is Ghosty. Open the Yabai RC file. Let's go and search for Ghosty. And there we are on the exact same line. Okay, let me jump to the beginning of the line here. Let me jump to the beginning. Look at the fonts. Maybe in Kitty it looks a little bit bolder, but I'm gonna be switching to them, and in the video you will be able to tell me if it looks that different. To me, the difference is minimal. Maybe Kitty looks a little bit bold, but is it because of the type of font that I chose? Is that the mono one? So this is Ghosty. Gonna leave it there for a little while. Now I'm gonna switch back. I'm gonna switch to Kitty. There's Kitty. Looks a little bit bold. What do you think? Do you use a clipboard manager? Yep. I already talked about the clipboard manager. I use one that is called Paste. Okay. It's a paid application, but it shows you images, it shows you videos, it shows you everything in there. And you can edit the stuff here. It's useful. There's a phone application for this Paste app as well, so you can use it on your Mac and on your phone. I use it as part of a setup subscription. If you don't want to pay for that, you can use the Raycast one. If you open Raycast, you can map this to a key or something. It has the clipboard history, and you can do that as an example, right? Look, that's built-in Raycast, and those are the ones that I have used. Someone in chat uses something different, let us know. You have a corn split keyboard a year, and you're not as efficient as when you were using a normal keyboard. Yep. On the Glove 80, to me it took me like I don't know. It did take me some time to get used to it, like 6 months maybe. But it's a completely different keyboard because it's ortholinear and it's concave, right? Then when I switched from the Glove 80 to this one, took me like a couple days to get used to it. But yeah, it's not the same when you switch from a normal keyboard to these. But yeah, you get used to it with time. I got used to this one already. It did take me some time. Yeah. I used to do a lot of typos even a month after getting the toucan, but now it has gotten better. Arch, JetBrains Mono, Netford size. 11 looks different in Kitty than Western or console. 12 in Kitty. looks decent, but then it's too big. That's what she said. Raycastem is doing a mega rewrite, apparently. It'll come out in April. Really? I don't know. It's a love and hate relationship that I have with Raycast because it's a pretty decent tool. It's actually pretty useful. There's things in Raycast that I use that I just yeah, like my bookmarks, right? I use Raycast for my bookmarks a lot. So this thing for my bookmarks, I use it a lot. And that is with Raycast using Raindrop, right? So there's a Raindrop plugin and Raycast calls it, and I can just go to my bookmarks with this thing. And there's other ones that I use from Raycast. Like if I need to bring up an emoji, this is useful because the Apple one sucks, right? But here I have the ones that I use the most uh, here, and I can search for emojis, or if I want to search for YouTube videos, that's useful as well. So yeah, there's quite a few tools that I use from Raycast that are quite useful, but I don't know. I don't love the tool. Oh, you're French. Oh, I see. Now, what this person asked in the comments, um, search and replace. Okay, cool. I would recommend you to go and watch this video, but I'm still gonna demo it here. Okay, but if you go and watch this video, this is going to be extremely helpful for you. Rugvar, powerful multi-line search and replace, and Neovim. Okay, go and check this one out. You're not gonna regret it. It's an amazing plugin. But how do I use it? I even demo how I use it in that video. Okay, but just to give you an example, this is my blog post, right? And it's mounted in an NFS share, so I will probably have some issues and it's not going to let me do a lot of stuff, right? But let's say that I want to replace all of this, right? Let's see if I have any changes pending that I need to push here. Nope. Okay, so I'm just gonna wait. Since it's a network mounted drive, it's slow. That's why this happens, and that's why it behaves a little bit weird here. But let's say that I want to replace this entire section, right? Not only on this file, right? But in a lot of different files. Look at this. I'm just going to do space S1, I think it is. Yep. Oh no, but if I do space S1, it's just going to search in that specific file. Notice that it added the path of the file here. That's not what I want. I want to replace this whole thing in in all of the different files that I have. So what is it? Liter SR. Yep. So take a look at what happened. I had that selected out here, right? I had it selected. I brought up this search and replace plugin. It automatically added all of that text in the search field, and I can replace all of it with something else. And notice that it also added this multi-line flag, right? So it searched all of them. It found it on this file, it's found it on this file, this, all of these files, right? That's 64 files. And notice how simple that was. And I'm gonna replace it for you. Okay, so I'm just going to do it again. Space SR, search and replace, of course. And let's replace this with something else. Okay, so I'm just going to replace this whole section here with this. I'm gonna do multiple lines just to explain the concept. Okay, so all of this is going to be replaced with this. You can see it on the preview. Red is gone. The green is what I'm replacing it with, right? Look at that beauty. So if I do not leader, but what is the other leader called? In my case, it's the backward slash. Yeah, backslash. If I do backslash, you can see it here. Backslash R. So let's type that. Backslash R. Oh, it failed. But it's because it's an NFS mounted drive, right? So don't worry about it. But let's see what happened. Let's see if it replaced something. Oh yeah, it replaced many of them, right? Let me go to this netboats. Let's see. Let's go to the bottom of this file. Look at this. Replaced it in all of them, okay? The error that you saw there is because of this. Like I said, it's an NFS mounted directory because this does not live on my Mac. It lives on a different server, but I mount it on my Mac, you know? So that's why. But we can see the changes here. All of them. Look at all these files. Replaced it here. It also replaced it here. Replaced it here as well, right? Replaced it in all of them. So that's a pretty powerful tool. Just going to discard all these changes. Hopefully it allows me to discard them. And I'm just gonna wait a little bit for it to do it. Discard, discard all of them, discard all of them, discard, discard, discard. Let's see if it did something. Yeah, I'll fix this later. It's fine. No big deal. But that is what I use, okay? If you go to a regular file, I just did it in my blog post because I have a lot of stuff that repeats there at the bottom of each one of the articles, right? But if you do it on a regular file, like for example, if I want on this file just to replace the word ghosty everywhere, only on this file, I have another key map. I select the word first, then I press letter S1. Notice that it searched in this file only the word ghosty, found it in 3 matches, 1 files, okay? And I can replace it with kitty if I want to. And you can see what is going to replace and where. You can delete stuff from here. If you don't want it to replace it everywhere, you delete stuff from here. And then you do a sync instead of a replace. I think it was a sync. But I cover all of this in the video, actually. So you just go and check it out. That is going to answer all the questions. Lick my balls, yep. So what happens if I have to reinstall macOS and rebuild the whole thing from vanilla? How long would it take me to get up and running? Around 1 hour, 1 hour and a half, I think. The thing that I hate about macOS is native applications. And native applications that only have settings through a GUI, right? If I go to my clipboard application, this thing right here, an amazing tool, by the way. It's also a paid application. Where did it go? Here. It's called CleanShot X, right? The only way to configure this shit is in the GUI, and I hate it. I wish that it would have an option so that you could configure it with the file that I could have in my .files, right? So I could just declare the config and I don't worry about it even if I restart my computer. So shit like this, shitty applications like this are the ones that take more time because you need to reconfigure them in the GUI when you reinstall macOS. But I have a video as well. I have videos for everything. Um, I have a video in which I show how I set up macOS from scratch using this script. Set up your Mac automatically with this script. So it's this script. It's in my .files as well. It's this script here, first time setup. It installs all of my applications. It installs Brew. It configures the macOS settings, right? It clones my different GitHub repos. Here's all the different packages that it installs. The macOS settings are right here, right? Like you can set the mouse button mode, the trackpad, what is this one? Mouse cursor speed. All of the different options are configured here. And yep, takes me like an hour to be up and running again if I need to reinstall it. That's when Nix seems like a good option, but I don't know about Nix. It's too advanced for me, so that's why I have not tried Nix yet. Probably someday I will. I don't know. Why did you delete your message? What are you hiding? And I think I covered everything, guys. We're going to stop streaming soon. Let me see if there's any other questions that I have here. Ubuntu snapped, baked in. Oh, this is the CNIX thing, I think. WSL. Nah, you cannot install WSL always. Now, work computer, they're not gonna be like, yeah, install WSL. Sometimes they don't allow it, so or maybe they do allow it, but Windows is already really slow, and I don't want to add an extra virtual machine running Linux inside Windows so that I make it even more slow. But it probably is the best option to do. Uh, I don't know. I'd have to think about it. For my work computer, I'd have to think about it. Oh, the Glove 80. The Terminal Explorer comments. Mac keyboard wizardry building on top of Canada. Okay. Malpern is building an app, it seems. YouTube's. Oh, this guy got offended because in this short I said that there were a lot of little bitches that were complaining about music in my videos. Man, one day I got like a lot of people unsubscribed from my channel. Usually I get, I don't know, 10, 15, 20 subscribers a day, something like that, you know. One day I got -5. So it means that actually like 20 people left. I got like maybe 20 unsubscribers. Probably it was because of this short. Or maybe some other stupid shit I said, you know, because I'm always saying stupid shit. But I just cannot help it. You know, it's just who I am. All right, chat. Do we have any other questions in chat? Or we call it a day? You want to see my face? Hold on. In the shorts version, you want to see my entire face? All right, guys. So thanks for joining. We're going to see if we join again next Sunday. Not exactly sure, but we will see. I'll let you know. I'll let you know if I'm going to join next Sunday. Where I'm from? I'm from Guatemala. It's a country in Central America. I'm in America. Look, I hate this about the world. Why people call the United States America? It's not fucking America, okay? The United States are the United States. I'm in Guatemala and I live in America, the fucking continent of America. But it's not a problem that comes only from the people that live in the US. This is a global issue. This is an epidemic. Everyone calls the United States, the fucking United States, America. And the United States is the United States. I also live in America, but I live in a different country, Guatemala, right below Mexico. I just needed to take that off my chest. All right, guys. We'll see you next week. Bye.